Hello everyone and welcome to supportive information session. For today's topic, we'll be talking about goal setting. So for those who don't know me, my name is Krista Vaughn and I am an addiction mental health counselor with the substance use program here at ADS-TB. So thank you so much for joining us today, whatever time of day it is, morning, afternoon. Really appreciate you tuning in. So just a bit of housekeeping here. So if you haven't been connected with our services, ways to connect, we are still able to offer phone sessions, virtual sessions, even doing virtual groups right now, which is wonderful for those who are connected with our services. So to get connected, giving our main line a phone call, different extensions that you're able to connect with. So for information, 222, for current clients who maybe need to get connected with their counselor and haven't been able to, that extension would be 284. For family members who might have some concerns with a loved one who may be experiencing addiction concerns, extension 221. And then for withdrawal support is 248 and our RAM clinic at 281. Some additional supports. So of course, Reach Out, which is available 24/7 with their phone number being 1-866-933-2023. Or they do offer a web chat, which is reachout247.ca. Just some information on some COVID-19 tips to protect your health. So of course, COVID-19 is a new illness that can affect your lungs and airways, and it's caused by a virus called coronavirus. So just some different tips in terms of washing your hands, ensuring warm water, washing for 20 seconds with soap, minimizing close contacts, so social distancing, physical distancing with others. So that means, staying back 6 feet. Staying home if you are sick. So if you're experiencing any type of symptoms, COVID related, including things like fever, cough, difficulty breathing, and of course seeking medical assistance when needed. That can also be a helpful tool in terms of the self-assessment number 4 there, just to see if symptoms might line up with COVID-19 and then accessing those supports as needed. So we are going to do a grounding exercise today. So anyone who's familiar with our supportive information session formats will definitely recognize that we do a grounding exercise at the beginning of each SIS along with the groups that we do at ADS-TB. And so virtual supports are no different. So we will do a grounding exercise, of course, to help calm the mind, relax the body, improving inner awareness, and support in terms of making positive mental or physical changes. So what I would ask, if you're able to sit comfortably, if possible, feet on the floor, and if you're feeling comfortable in doing so, in closing your eyes, I'm actually going to cover the camera portion, so it will just be my voice that you can hear while we're doing the grounding exercise. Picture a mountain. Any mountain you can clearly visualize. The more detailed the visualization, the better. The mountain is standing tall and strong. It has been there for thousands of years. All around the mountain, the weather changes from beautiful sunny skies to hurricane-force winds to snow and ice. But the mountain always stands firm. The activity just whirls around the mountain, but does not affect it day to day. Now sit quietly and focus on your breath, going in and out. Going in and out. Relax and breathe. As the thoughts come in and out of your mind, picture yourself as the mountain. Sit up tall and strong like a mountain, firmly grounded to the earth. Let the thoughts
and the stress and the anxiety whirl around you without affecting you. The thoughts of people and situations that are pressuring you are just thoughts, and you are a mountain sitting strong. You are who you have always been, regardless of the weather happening around you. Sit with the feeling of power and majesty, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And breathing in and out. And when you're feeling ready, open your eyes.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for doing that. So we will get into our SIS topic today for goal setting. Just so everyone is aware, I do have two screens open at the time to have the presentation in front of us, but also to have my notes separate. So if it looks like my eyes are kind of wandering, it's because I am reading the notes. Okay. So what does goal setting mean to you? So thinking about, taking a couple seconds in terms of what does goal setting mean to you? Do you look forward to setting goals? Has it worked for you in the past? And perhaps what are some things that haven't worked for you in the past in terms of setting goals? So unfortunately, I don't have a magic wand or any instant fixes, but hopefully by the end of the session, you will have heard about some different techniques that will make setting goals a bit easier. So why set goals? So to set a clear action plan, writing your goals can really reinforce the process in which you are choosing to achieve your goal. To make a good use of your time, so ensuring that goals are SMART, so specific, measurable, obtainable, realistic, and timely, which we'll go more in depth in the next couple of slides. That you are formulating a plan to ensure it is successful as long as you're sticking to it. To increase motivation. So writing your goals down and deciding on next steps to make will help you want to achieve your goals. Plus, if your goals are SMART, you have already set out the process in which you will follow. And to gain confidence. So once you have achieved your goals, you will be more motivated to set new ones. You will begin to see yourself as capable to do anything that you put your mind to. And identifying what is important to you. So when you set your goal, you are choosing something that means a lot for you to achieve. The goal is yours and only yours, and it will mean the most to you when you have achieved it. You will begin to see results that you have hoped for when you set your goal, and this will help you to see you are able to achieve what is most important to you. So setting goals and recovering is an important process. As you begin to formulate your goals and the steps you will take to reach each goal, you are reflecting on what is important for you to change. Set boundaries for yourself, so you'll be able to determine what feels safe and reasonable in terms of reasonable limits that are for you in your recovery. This can also allow you to figure out any potential risky situations. Allows you to to make a plan and to stick to it. The more specific your goal is, the easier it will be to follow. Be accountable for your behavior. Your goals will guide your recovery process and allow you to measure how you are doing along the way. This allows you to plan your treatment. It will allow you to decide what kind of treatment you want to receive and to explore other options. So thinking back, reflecting on your choices. Did you make the right choice, or are there things that you may have not considered while you were setting goals? So, as promised, we will be going a little bit further into depth regarding SMART goals. So the first one, S, of course, specific. So answering answer the 5 W questions, right? So the more specific a goal is, the easier it is to follow. It's helpful to follow the 5 W questions. So who, what, where, why, when. in order to ensure your goal is specific and easy to follow. As an example, setting a goal that says get more exercise could become walk 3 times a week for 30 minutes. So again, being specific around the goals that you're wanting to achieve. Measurable. So establish a way that your goal can be measured. So for example, your goal of walking 3 times a week can be measured by how many times you actually are walking a week. Attainable. So when identifying goals that are important to you, you will begin to think of ways to accomplish these goals based on your skills and attitudes. For example, you realize you need a good pair of walking shoes to complete your goal and use your problem-solving abilities to ensure that this happens. Utilize your problem-solving skills to make sure that your goals fit these requirements and to make sure you have what you need to achieve these goals. So realistic. To ensure that you are motivated to reach your goal, you need to check that you are willing and able to achieve these goals. For example, if you have any physical impairment that would not work well with walking 3 times a week, try to think of a lower impact activity such as swimming. Try to make a commitment to your goal by making the time you need for it acceptable in your present life situation. Walking 6 days a week for an hour is a great goal, but do you actually have the time for it? It's always great to start at a level that you know you can commit to and then add on to that later on. And timely. So when you set a goal, you should always set a time frame to complete the goal. With a time frame attached, there will be some urgency to complete it. So for the walking example, set a day to start. So we'll say May 2nd, and stick to it. Put it on your calendar, program it into your phone, write a post-it note and put it on your fridge, whatever works for you. Sometimes it can help to share the start date with a good friend or supportive family member to help you become more accountable. So a goal set properly is halfway reached. So now that you've formulated some SMART goals, you can put them into action. Remember, ensuring that goals are SMART can help you to narrow down how you will be able to put your plan into action. So now what? You've set your goal, and now you can put your goal into action. So this can often be the most difficult part of goal setting. One helpful tip could be to create a to-do list to help keep you on track. A to-do list can allow you to write down what you need to have accomplished your goal. So you may find it helpful to make a to-do list so you don't forget something necessary to your goal. Doing some research. Find out if there are some websites to help you get started. Ask a family member or a friend if they have any resources that could help you. You may have to step a little outside of your comfort zone, but it will help you to achieve a goal, then it might not hurt to try. You may be able to check out books from the public library when they open again to do some additional research. Seek out some external help. So talk to your doctor or a professional about some strategies to get you started. They may have some helpful suggestions or offer something that you previously hadn't thought of. This could also be an important step, particularly if your goal involves an aspect to do with your health. So for example, tapering off certain substances versus going cold turkey. Above all, you want to ensure your goal will not endanger your health in any way. This process could also reinforce your motivation and help you to complete that goal. Scheduling your time. This can be a difficult aspect of goal setting. Often we make lofty goals that may not actually fit into our schedule, and our goal can actually become overwhelming for us. So make some time, do some time management. Part of the goal setting process is to ensure your goal is something that you can realistically fit into your schedule. Otherwise, you may feel disappointed if you're not achieving it. Even a day book or using your cell phone or calendar to write in a time of day, setting an alarm, things like that can really help in terms of being able to manage your time and fit your goals in. So some barriers. So thinking about some barriers that could actually hinder your goals. So typically what we would do during this SIS is sort of brainstorm some different ideas from participants, which of course we unfortunately don't have the ability to do. So thinking about just on your own in terms of some barriers for yourself that might get in the way of the goals that you're setting for yourself. So some common things that we absolutely see in terms of goals, just like our previous slide, time, right? Making and setting the time, being able to fit certain aspects of your goal into your schedules. Money. Of course, finances can be a barrier, as one of the examples provided was, okay, you know, if we're setting a goal for walking, but you need new shoes for walking, that could become a barrier if you're not able to afford those new shoes. So it's kind of looking at different aspects of what that goal and fixing the goal in terms to fit best for you. So lack of resource or knowledge on particular goals or topics, lack of support. Injury, of course, can impact our goals and whether or not we're able to move forward with or make progress with in terms of certain goals. Aspects of trauma absolutely can be a barrier, impact certain goals. Things like stress, crisis, attitudes and beliefs, bad habits, insecurity. So definitely some different ideas in terms of what a barrier might be in terms of goals. So when you're thinking about your SMART goals, also thinking about if there are any barriers to consider and utilizing some of those problem-solving skills. So you can't hit a home run unless you step up to the plate. You can't you can't catch a fish unless you put your line in the water. You can't reach your goals if you don't try. Although you are bound to run up against barriers that could ultimately test your ability to achieve your goals, it is important to remember that no goal will happen without action. You try something and there are two outcomes. Either you succeed or you try again. If you don't try at all, then you definitely won't succeed. So how to overcome barriers. So identify potential barriers. So again, it's likely you may come across some barriers that could temporarily derail your goal. It could be helpful to brainstorm some possible barriers before you start on your goal. This will allow you to decide a course of action that will identify any barriers and a way to overcome them. Being aware of the factors that may stand in your way make it easier to form a plan to get through them. Be proactive instead of reactive. Problem solve. Sit down and reflect carefully about what is stopping you from getting to your goal. If you can't think of a way to get around it, it may be time to seek out some resources or external help that could help you in this situation. If it makes it easier, write it out. Reassess your goal. So take a minute and decide if your goal needs to be broken down into smaller pieces. It might be a SMART goal. It might just need to be done 1 or 2 goals. Think about the way you're going about it. You may have to come up with an alternative way that you are comfortable with in the meantime before you can try your original goal again. Ask for help. Enlist the help of family members or friends to help you. You may need someone to help keep you on track or even just to talk to about your goals. Talk to someone who has achieved a goal and ask them what worked for them and what didn't work for them. It's a good idea to brainstorm with someone you trust for tips on how to achieve a goal. And trying something new. It may be out of your comfort zone. Okay. So stuck. So if you're stuck with certain ideas or stuck, creating momentum in terms of your goals, some different ideas. So trying some grounding exercises. Visualize a comfortable place, concentrate on your breathing, name 5 things in the room, anything that will allow your mind to relax. Writing a goodbye letter to your old behaviors. List the reasons why you're wanting to change certain behaviors. Acknowledge that there may have been good times, but you know achieving your goal will benefit you so much more. Weighing the pros and cons. Think about the reasons why you were making the change. What happened to make you come to this decision? Take a break and come back to it. Take a healthy break and come back to it the next day. If you're feeling really frustrated, the break may be a good chance for you to clear your head and come back with a fresh set of eyes. Journal your feelings and thoughts. So writing down exactly what you were struggling with. Don't worry about it making sense, just write it down. And going for a walk with social distancing, physical distancing, of course, during this time. But getting outside, getting some exercise, distracting yourself, even if it's just for a walk around the block, can really help in terms of being able to clear the mind a bit. Okay. So adding E to SMART. So once you've accomplished setting SMART goals, you can extend it further by adding an E, which means evaluate. So consider what you have accomplished, reflect on growth and challenges along the way. Make sure you identify any challenges that you worked through during this process. Decide what has worked. Take a second and decide what was the most useful way to achieve goals for you. It may be writing it down, posting it on your fridge, enlisting the help of someone else, or journaling about your experience. Whatever you could do most helpful so you can incorporate it into future goals. Identify what could be improved. So think about the adaptations that you could have made during your journey. Like almost anything, setting goals and achieving them will be a learning process. You will find out what works for you and things to change for next time. Cut yourself some slack. It's pretty hard to be perfect all the time, and there are bound to be times where you can look back and see times where a situation could have been handled differently. As long as you keep a positive attitude and think of any mishaps as learning experiences, you will succeed. Praise yourself. When you see an area that you have grown, make sure you allow some recognition for that. Even if you feel that is something that may come naturally, make sure you congratulate yourself on a job well done. This will help amplify the positives of what you do. Adding R to SMART. So rewards. By implementing rewards, you are more likely to stay motivated to achieve your goals. Many people early in recovery don't like the idea of rewards. You may feel that you should be able to quit without using rewards, or that better health should be reward enough. However, without implementing a new reward system to replace your old one, like alcohol or drugs, maintaining abstinence may be difficult. It is important to assign some safe words that can be used. Even if you have a moderation goal, do not use alcohol or drugs as the reward. Example, having one drink to celebrate not drinking for a week can turn into problematic use of alcohol. So some different healthy reward suggestions. So things like going for a drive, going for a bike ride, burning a CD, or creating a playlist of your favorite songs, buying a gourmet coffee or tea, renting or watching a funny or scary movie, calling a friend, buy your favorite food, or making your favorite meal. So what is assertiveness? So being assertive is a skill, and like any skill, it needs to be practiced before it will come naturally. So things like telling others how you feel without putting them down, being open and honest, communicate your needs and wants clearly, and staying true to your morals and values without forcing them on others. Our previous experiences may have shaped us to have mistaken traditional assumptions. Here are a list of legitimate rights to keep in mind when pursuing your goals. Being able to accept these rights can be a goal within themselves, and trying not to feel guilty or ashamed when you say no. So things like having the right to make mistakes, to put yourself first sometimes, to have your own opinions, to negotiate for change, to change your mind, to ask for help or support, not to justify yourselves to others, and you have the right to say no. So communicate in positive confidence. In positive confidence. So things and how to communicate assertively. So making direct eye contact, standing up or sitting up straight, speaking in a firm, controlled voice, making your point and sticking to it calmly. Develop your confidence and allow yourself to say no. You don't have to give a reason. So some last helpful hints. It is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. You will have to be willing to work for it and making sure that it is something that you really want. You can make it happen. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Thank you so much for attending our goal setting SIS. We hope that you'll return for our many other SISs that will be available on the website. So take care and stay safe.